her ex grabbed the dining room table, moved it, and she got buckets of water and soap, and they just started throwing it on the floor, on this laminate floor. And then we proceeded to slip and slide on the floor for the next hour and a half.
Oh my God.
I was like shook. Like my whole body was like.
I wouldn't like that either. I'd be like, listen, I don't have to follow rules but if they're logical, I will follow them.
I said, what about
that seems
floor?
logical to not
I was like,
slip and slide.
What about the floor
on the fucking
warping?
linoleum?
He was like, I always hated this. I'll replace it. Welcome to the Realtor-Ish Podcast. I'm your host, Juliana Gainsberg. This podcast is all about helping entrepreneurs grow their business through real estate and business development strategies. In each episode, my guests and I will chat about the real when it comes to real estate. If you like what you hear, follow us on your favorite streaming platform. Welcome back to the Realtor-Ish Podcast. I'm your host, Juliana Gainsberg, with my lovely guest this week, Winnie Rogers. Hi. This is not going to be a traditional episode. We're just going to talk and have a good time. And if you're intrigued by what we have to say, then stick around. If not, then we'll see you on the next episode. And that's it. I always have sugar-free Red Bulls.
Yeah, this is a first for me.
So Dom is very good at all the things. He's very good at the business side of it, the editing, the filming, everything. Normally has sugar-free Red Bull for me because
we'll forgive him today.
That's customer service. However, it's ironic that it's not sugar-free Red Bull because you did one of the things that I really like doing in my business, and that's sending people things or just saying thank you, even if like they're not the money. They're not the source of the money. So to give you context, I love helping people make money and find success. So a friend of mine said, oh, yeah, my dad's moving to Charleston area, general-ish. And he's a licensed agent, but he doesn't really practice or, he's not really in the business so much. I said, wait. I have someone in that area. You have to talk to them, like refer them, get the money. Like you're going to get a nice referral check. You have to do that. Like you have to give them somebody. Even though you're not licensed in the area, doesn't mean you can't make money. So I know we've talked about referrals on this podcast multiple times. Everybody knows my take and my feeling on that. And that referral went to Winnie from the person that was sending it. And Winnie sent me 2 Red Bull glasses that are like thin, like Red Bull sized glasses, and they're in my house and they're perfect, and you can pour an entire sugar-free Red Bull in it.
It's perfectly designed.
And wait, so the kicker is it wasn't signed.
Oh yeah.
The box wasn't signed by like as a gift or like whatever. It just said it was from the Red Bull like production, whatever. And it just didn't have any information on it.
Yeah. You couldn't
Hannah,
like
figure
a
it
gift
out.
note or anything.
So I thought I was getting sponsored by Red Bull.
I'm so sorry to disappoint you.
I was like, I've been tagging Red Bull for so long. Like I always drink sugar-free Red Bull. It's my thing. I'm like, did Red Bull like send me this? I'm like sitting here like, what the heck? And I don't remember how it like we figured it out. I think maybe that I found a receipt somewhere. Or,
Yeah. No, but I was like, hey, you should be getting something in the mail from me or something like that. Because I didn't know when it was going to deliver either.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a sponsorship from Red Bull, but it was a good gift.
Winnie.
From Winnie. Also, personable. It wasn't just a Starbucks gift card. Like, not that that's bad.
I had to sleuth around. No. Yeah. I'll take Starbucks gift cards every day. But like, I had to sleuth around and figure out. Yeah. I was like, what? So I asked a few people. I was like, what is Juliana like?
Somebody did tell me that.
That was Connor.
Yes, and someone else.
Yeah, I reached out to Brett too, but Brett was like, ask Connor. I was like, got it. So it was easy. It was like within 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think somebody said
sugar-free Red Bull. Done.
Yeah. And in the very beginning of the sugar-free Red Bull days, I went to Arizona for a KW event, and somebody had a pool party for everybody that was in town, like at their house. So it wasn't like an official event, but it was like, hey, everyone come over. And the person who was hosting the party came back from like Walgreens with like ice and like something else she needed. And she's like, oh, I got you a sugar-free Red Bull. And I was like, I was like,
no.
it's working.
That's really
I'm
sweet.
like, the branding is working. I'm like, people are remembering me for selling real estate and always drinking sugar-free Red Bull.
Real estate and Red Bull.
Like, whatever. It's
you know,
fine.
Tag that.
Real estate and Red Bull.
Yeah. You never know.
But sometimes I'm kind of like, I should stop giving them so much credit.
Right?
Yeah, like, what are they sending me glasses?
I feel like I could sell stock in Costco. I think about that all the time. I'm like, there's a few things in general. Somebody posted the other day on Facebook, like, we're all like a part of a cult of something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Costco. Like, I could sell memberships to that place. I'm like, oh my gosh, you have to try the chunky guacamole. Like,
what could I sell stock in? No, besides that. I'm trying to think if there's like
saying,
something
like,
that I
we're all,
like
like,
religiously.
yeah, if there's things that you're like, I am ride or die, like this is my hair product or whatever. I could probably like, I should invest in my hairstylist. I would. Catherine. She's
I'm
incredible.
trying to think of somebody that I've sent business to that I'm like, there's no other person you should talk to. I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head. I mean, I sent a lot of people to Dom.
What's up?
Well, to Dom.
To Dom.
Like, wait a second. I can't get this. With those talons.
Girl. I've had these to Dom.
Thank you.
Cheers. Cheers.
And I think it's also the first time I'm drinking this.
Yeah, energy drinks are. I kind of am already a little bit of a Energizer
Am I
bunny
drunk?
rabbit. I know, I'm wasted.
I swear energy drinks make me feel drunk. Not Red Bull.
I'm not surprised by that. It's the taurine.
It tastes. It's the chemicals. It tastes
Okay, so I actually love Red Bull because it tastes like my favorite candy, which is Sweet Tarts. It literally tastes like liquid
regular
Sweet Tarts.
Red Bull.
Yeah, or sugar-free is similar.
It's got like a different taste though.
Yeah.
Because if I like have to have a regular Red Bull, I can tell there's just something. It's like thicker or something. I don't know. This is interesting.
Yeah,
unleash the
It does taste like candy.
It does. It tastes like cotton candy.
Yeah. Okay, there should be a snow cone flavor. This is great. This should be a snow cone.
I told you this is going to be not a regular episode. This is for fun. Okay, we both sell real estate.
Business,
she's
money,
in Charleston.
dollars. Charleston. And then
Philadelphia,
flavor.
Charleston.
Yep.
This. Do you want to tell us about Charleston?
Charleston's great. Let's see. What would you like to know about Charleston? It's beautiful. It's historic. I like it because it's like small enough that like you can bop and run into people and have like your own community within there. And then there's like different parts of Charleston and stuff. So you can kind of like, it can have like a neighborhoody feel, but it's still big enough and we still have like a symphony. Thank goodness.
If I was buying a single family, let's just say 3-bedroom house.
Okay.
What is like my general price range? I'm not dictating the budget. You're telling me what that.
Okay.
To have something like decent. Like I don't need to be like fixing the whole house up. Like primarily like move-in ready.
So, I mean, you can really get something between like $400 and $600, I feel like. It really does depend on the side of town. And remember, like, as close to the water. Closer to the water, you're in the millions. Or if you're closer to like downtown historic, like you're going to be closer to like, 8, 9 to into the millions. But like if you're kind of in more, suburbia, a little bit further out from the water, then like 500-ish, give or take. Yeah. You can find things for like 300, but you're going to be further from the ocean.
Mm-hmm. How you're originally from? Mm-hmm. Okay. So just give me the full thing. Cause we talked about Baltimore earlier.
Yeah. So I was like, I need to like count how many generations. I'm a gajillionth generation Charlestonian, which matters because there's a lot of transplants in Charleston, which is totally cool. It's beautiful. Like, of course, why wouldn't people want to move there? And so from Charleston, and then like grandpa's off in there. And then my parents got a divorce, so I moved to Virginia. So I was there for a little period of time, kind of a blip in a super small town. Claim to fame is Chris Brown is from Tappahannock, Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that. I'm like, I know. I said Glenafane.
The only reason why I know what that is.
Yeah, exactly. So there we go. So, but then I moved to Baltimore for college, and I stayed there for a while, and I really loved living in that dirty, nasty city. Oh, so good. Every day, always shocked, never surprised. That was my little quote for Baltimore.
I feel like always shocked, never surprised. Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll
You're
have to note that.
What the fuck is Baltimore? You know, like 2 rats humping? Ah! Like it's literally like that. I'm so sorry, but that is real. Like that is
you
real.
You can say everyone on the show.
Okay, great. I was also talking about like the heroin hang today because I was walking around Philly, the heroin hang.
Is that in Baltimore?
Yeah, the heroin hang.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
No. Oh, you mean the zombie thing?
Yes, the zombie thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
we don't call it that in Philly.
Okay.
We call it it's I don't know if there's a term that other people call that I'm not aware of, but it's basically we call them zombies.
Yeah.
And it's just where they're from their hips up don't work anymore. So they just hang.
They're incredible at balancing, though. It's a
Yes.
skill. It is a skill.
I don't know why that is.
It's fascinating.
Because they're basically falling asleep, but they're not.
But they're not.
So their legs just still work?
Yeah. I
they're
wouldn't
just
be able to tell you, to be
keeled
honest.
over. Yeah. From personal experience,
I don't know.
not a thing. Anyhow, Baltimore, yes. So I lived in Baltimore for a while, and I graduated college there. I was in publishing,
Okay.
I was an English major. So I actually got a job in my career, which is crazy because people don't do that. It seems like a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah.
And I moved back home. I was like thinking about, do I want to move to a bigger city? Do I want to move somewhere smaller? And I was like, you know what? I'll just go back to Charleston. My grandma was getting old and I do like Charleston. So I was like, let's move back there. And so that was in 2009. So I've been back a really long time now.
Do you think you'll ever leave Charleston?
It would have to be for a really awesome opportunity or something like that. Like as long as my dad's there, I don't want to leave. And like that's for sure. I live on family land. I'm a little bit of a daddy's girl.
Me too.
So like
Can
I can literally like holler to my father. Like we have like a little code, like a little grunt that we holler across the lawn.
I want that.
It's cute. It's pretty cute.
Dad, if you're listening, that's my farm.
Yeah. So I live in like the old fishing cottage on the property. And then my dad built a log cabin. So it's really cool. When you think about Charleston, you think about all the live oaks and the Spanish moss. Like my house is literally, if you were to like do the Google Earth, you can't see my house because I'm underneath like 5 live oak trees.
I can't wait to come.
It's rad.
I cannot wait to visit.
It is fun. And we have like trails, like that we go on the 4-wheeler and stuff through. Like, yes.
So I try to like refrain from like name dropping as much as I can just because like not everyone knows everyone in my life. However, Johnny J.
Yeah, he came down.
We know each other from KW, but at some point in time, he'll be on this podcast if I can ever get him out this way. I think I will have him in warmer weather because I always suggest people come visit when it's warmer in Philadelphia.
Today was frigid.
You said you were walking around. I don't know how you were walking around. Like I just couldn't do that.
Through.
But the reason I brought Johnny G up is because I remember seeing on his story of you guys on the ATVs cruising around. I'm like, that looks like fun.
It was so
I'm
funny
trying to go visit Winnie.
He's kind of, I don't know, like a city kid or whatever. So
He's bougie.
Yeah, he's bougie. Yeah, oh yeah, he's from LA.
Yes.
So I was
Santa Monica.
I was like, you want to go mud bogging? Like that
and
isn't what we did.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, Winnie, I trust you. It was cute.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he's very like open to trying all the things.
Yeah.
He's a good friend. I'm thankful for him and his friendship, but we are the same with our level of like bouginess.
Yeah.
And like my parents didn't take me camping.
So
I don't know how to
I hate camping. I won't camp.
Yeah.
I refuse I will never camp again. I don't want to say never because like glamping, like yurt life, okay, like maybe, but I don't know. Just for like a day or two, depending on the weather. Because I'm just a little bit of a bitch about the weather. But my parents, we only ever camped. only ever camped. And I was like, I don't know if it's because we didn't have that much money or if it's because they just really enjoyed camping. But I was like, dude, we would like go camping and go to Carowinds, which is like the theme park outside of Charlotte.
Yeah.
And that's literally like the only vacation that we ever did besides like visiting grandma for Thanksgiving. So now I have like kind of a negative taste in my mouth about camping. I'm like, no, I don't want to set up a tent. I don't want to be outside with mosquitoes. I don't want to smell like a fire.
I went camping one time. It was in the summer of 6th grade with my best friend and her family. And that's the only reason why I went.
Yeah.
Because I can't even imagine my dad camping. It's just so not his vibe. Not that he's like.
My mom and my brother do like camp.
It's not that he wouldn't be able to. It's just like, it's just not. I can't see him like choosing to do that.
Sure. Choosing to sleep on the ground.
Yeah, nah. He's got a bad back. Not really into that. More of a hotel,
it's like,
more of a hotel bed kind of guy.
Yeah.
Same. But yeah, I don't know. It's like never been my thing. Like I've never been the wilderness type of things.
Having said that, like when you come out, like it'll be
I'll
awesome
do whatever you want to
like,
do.
I have all the accoutrement in the home, so you're good to go. All the bouginess in the home, and then you go outside and you get to just like see the trees. And I live really close to a super teeny creek. It's a tidal creek, so Charleston's very tidal. Mm-hmm. So like every day it fluctuates like, I don't know, 10, 15 feet or whatever. Don't quote me on that because I don't know, but I'm not a boat person. But like. And the sunsets are ridiculous on the water. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
We have so many bridges. Like so Charleston's made up of a bunch of islands. So it's like James Island, Johns Island. There's so many more. So like every like borough, so to speak, is like you have to go over like, oh, how many bridges did you have to go over today? It's like it takes like 4 bridges to get to Mount Pleasant from my house, for instance. So it's kind of cool. But so you get to see water all the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm into that. Charleston has been on my list for a very long time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome. And we have the best, I don't want to say, we have the best food. We have really good food.
No, we do.
It's the best. Like we win awards. Oh yeah. I think we won for like the 17th year in a row or something, like Condé Nast Travelers, like best city to travel to. And then we've also gotten like to live in general. I mean, we do have Southern hospitality and it's a really good city.
It's
for
like
being
slower
outdoors.
vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People say like we're kind. I'm like, I don't know what you mean because that's just like how we all are.
Now, I have a question. Do you think that I have an accent?
Yes, girl. Yes. Do you think I have one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can be a little bit country. It's funny when I lived in Baltimore, like I never
Do you think
said.
she has an accent?
I don't think either of you have an accent.
Give me a break.
Like, okay. So like I say a couple things like Baltimore though. I say on. I know, right? This is so Baltimore. Baltimore hun. Balmer hun. Anyhow, no.
You just said something earlier that I was like, it sounded like our friend Kyle.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's Charleston.
So like,
Hang.
I mean, there's like, when I lived in Baltimore, I stopped saying y'all because people would like comment on it. And I was like, so I started to say you all because I just didn't want people to comment on it because what I have learned by living in other places is that now I'm like talking not Southern at all. I don't know if you caught that, but it's turned off
sometimes
right
you
now.
don't.
Yeah,
that's
sometimes
what I'm
I don't.
saying. Like,
my mom's
then sometimes
from DC.
I hear it and I'm like, gotcha.
Yeah, it comes out. But it's like people sometimes think, oh, well, if you talk country, it means that you're less educated. And so, but when you're in Charleston, everybody just expects that you talk Southern. So it's not as big of a deal. So whenever I got back to Charleston, I started, like, it came back out. I was like, it's okay because like before, like I've literally been like judged for talking Southern before. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to turn it off.
You know what? I feel like I actually did know of people thinking that way, but that would not have been my way of thinking.
Yeah. I think it's ignorant people. But,
I thought you were going to say that living in Baltimore, that it was like a sign of weakness that you weren't from there. Oh, and people would pick up on your accent.
No, they would just be like, I feel she's cute little Southern girl. Yeah. And I mean, I am sweeter than most people in Baltimore, to be fair.
Listen, I have 2 very good friends. I already mentioned Melissa that live in Baltimore. She's going to be like eating this up. Like, we're fine in Baltimore. We're very nice.
I loved living in Baltimore.
Yeah.
It was
I'm supposed to go there. I'm going to be there in June. I'm excited. It's actually not really far from Philadelphia at all. It's like easy to get to.
Well, like I wanted to go to an all women's college. So that narrowed down my colleges. And then I didn't want to be too far north because I'm a bitch about the cold. So like Baltimore was basically as like far north as I was going to go. So it was up between a school outside of Atlanta and then a school in Baltimore. And my mom was like, I heard Atlanta's dangerous. And I was like, Baltimore,
let's go to Baltimore instead.
Right? I was like, we didn't even know. And my stepmom is from Baltimore. So I also was like, I'd been there like a couple times before. So, and I really chose Baltimore because Baltimore, like I like to see live music. It's why I'm in town right now.
Yeah.
So I literally chose Baltimore because if a band that I wanted to see wasn't playing in Baltimore, usually they were because they were going to like New York, Philly, and DC. But a lot of times they would stop in Baltimore too. But even if they didn't, they would be in Philly or DC. So I came up to Philly and went down to DC for shows all the time.
Yeah.
So that's like literally why I moved to Baltimore. So Baltimore, and I love Baltimore.
Yeah. I've actually never been there, but I've heard really great things.
Yeah, I had so much fun.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun.
I'm excited to go there. So speaking of you coming into town for the show, I think this is like a really good topic to talk about. The fact that you like, obviously we're friends, we know each other through the company and that kind of thing, but you made it a point like, I'm going to be in town for this activity. Yes, it's vacation based, like it's personal time. However, I'm seizing opportunity to build my business while I'm in town. And I think that's like really important, and people don't think about that a lot.
Yeah, I do that pretty much every time. I mean, I bought the tickets to the show that I'm going to see tonight maybe like 7 months ago or something, and just sat on them, and then I was like, oh, well, I'm going to be there already. So, I mean, whenever I've gone to say other conferences or just anything, I've gone and like just done something else at the same time. Like I was going to go see a show in Portland and I was already going to see like set up to teach in the market center there. But I ended up, the band was playing in LA. So when we were at family reunion, I went to see the band in LA instead. So, which was perfect. But yeah, tack it on, business and pleasure. Then you can write it off. So.
Sure can.
I think legitimately, so I became a 1099 employee when I started my network marketing business. We were talking about this in 2013. And so since then, every time I've traveled, there's been one time that I've traveled that I haven't written it off.
Yeah.
And it was literally because I went to Mexico. I was like, okay, I'll take this one.
They got KWIP out there?
Yeah. But it was before I was in real estate. So, but like now it's like, I mean, all you have to do is like visit, teach. I love to teach anyway.
Yeah.
And, like meet new agents. Like obviously, there's a lot of people moving to and from, the New England area that are moving to Charleston. Yeah. So, why not create more connections here?
Even now, like with that network marketing business, like before you could be like, you could bring products with you and like
I did. I would literally be like
pictures on social media and it's like, oh, well, I'm doing a photo shoot while I'm here.
I literally did exactly that. I would have like one coffee appointment for that or like bring a sample.
Yeah.
It's like, here you go.
This episode is brought to you by Castle Public Adjusters. If you have fallen victim to property damage, Castle Public Adjusters is your first and only call. They will make sure that you get the maximum compensation for your property loss. Remember, avoid the hassle. Just call Castle. 215-752-1237. Yeah, that's really interesting. The opposite way, well, not the opposite way, but the other way with that is I've been using my business trips as also time to see new places. So like I've been using the opportunity to go to Keller Williams Young Professional like chapter launch events in different cities, like
Nashville, that was fun.
Nashville, Chicago, Arizona, Knoxville, Tennessee. I've been to a handful of places that I either didn't have on my list. Like I never thought about going to Knoxville. Like that was never like,
it's a cool town.
I didn't even think about going, but it was a good opportunity to see a place I've never been, spend 2-3 days there, not super expensive, network
and get
with
like
people.
A local's eye view of it. Like whenever
and they
you're going,
plan the trip for you essentially because they pack 2 days worth of things to do besides just the business side of things. So I've kind of used it on the other way of like planning business and then adding personal to it because it's an experience type of thing. But I have gotten better at doing what you're doing, where it's like, okay, I'm going to be in Florida and that's only an hour and a half from Orlando. If Orlando's doing an event or there's somebody over there that I can talk to, like I can hop in the car for a few hours and go do that. And I guess some people's objection is like, well, if I'm planning vacation, like it's vacation and I need to be present. And listen, I'm here for that. If you have a family and fine. You need to be present with your family and do all that, you don't have to do it every time. But like from the traveling little
I feel like
things
sometimes
standpoint.
it's like assigned to, that it is just for family. I was talking to one of my lenders one time, and she said this thing that just like really, really hit home. She was like, Winnie, there's no such thing as work-life balance. It's harmony. It's just how do they play together? And that's what I think about when I think about how these, like, I literally am in town for a show, and like how can all of this this is my life. My life is, going to see music and eating good food and seeing my friends and building a business. It's all of it at once. Yeah. So it isn't balance. It's just how does it interplay?
See, like I feel like a ton of people are like, you have to find your work-life balance and like you need to time block this and time block that. I'm a master time blocker. Like I've gotten real good at that, especially in the past 6 months. Yeah. To a year. And so I will get people ask me like when they're getting into the business, like, oh, well, like what does your schedule look like? And do you have a day off? And I'm like, my business just runs. It runs into the next day and it's just, it just keeps on going. However, if I do want to not get up in the morning on random Tuesday, I don't have to get up. Yeah. Like it just is what it is. Granted, like appointments, closings, whatever, that kind of thing. But
within reason.
If I don't want to do something, I don't have to. Or if somebody calls me and says, we got tickets to this show on this night, like no one's telling me I can't go.
Yeah, totally.
So that's like the other part of it. But it really is like real estate for me, especially. It's my life. It's just like, that's just, the business becomes my lifestyle and it just runs. Like, yeah. I think it just gets harder as you like get married and like have children, and then their life also becomes part of your lifestyle. Yeah. So like navigating that,
factor in more.
I think that's really where people push in the work-life balance situation.
Yeah, like, how are you balancing it isn't just your opinion? It's not your opinion anymore. I know that like one of the things I have to do is like I have to be at my house at least for the majority of the day, 1 day a week. And I always just say I get weird if I'm not. Like I have to like be like in nature or at my house, like in my space, because like I'm so like I'm bubbly and energized like all the time and just like chatty and stuff like that. So that's almost where I have to take that balance or that harmony. It isn't necessarily like if it's work versus play. It's like if it's alone. Yeah. Versus with people.
Your social meter's up.
Yeah. So I have to like.
You need to recharge.
Yeah. I have to like go home and like sit.
That's how I get when I go to these conferences.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
So you go from like, you get up crack of dawn, you run, you do all the things, you go to the classes,
can't squander this time. You gotta like.
You have to be so purposeful with your time.
Yeah.
So when it's second day in or third day in is my earliest day back to the room.
Yeah.
Or maybe I skip out on something. I go back, take a shower, put some music on, change my outfit, do my hair, and like
especially if you're sharing a hotel room too, you gotta make sure to
I don't do that.
Yeah.
Not from any reason other than what I'm talking about too. Like I just need alone time. I need to be able to shut the door.
Both she needs her alone time too. So we were able to like coordinate that well. Cause I'm definitely like, I stay out later than she does. So like that helped. So she was able to she was like back in the room like a couple hours before me.
Actually, this past mega camp was the first time I shared a room. Mm-hmm. My roommate was not in YP. She's in coaching. She's, involved in maps, and she's actually not even with Keller Williams anymore, but she was running in a marathon like a month later. So she was up at like 5 a.m. to go run, and also a super, super heavy sleeper. So it worked out fine because we were both gone all day long. Like we didn't have any I think as much as I'm like being like a brat about like I need my space and like whatever, I'm also super easygoing and like able to share. So like that's like never the issue. So at the one part of the day, like around dinner time where we were home at the same time, it was fine. But it just so worked out that like this was the one conference I've gone to in a long time where I was like out every night. Like I normally don't do that. Like I'm like I've told you guys before, club soda and lime. Like I don't act up. I'm very like I need to be sharp. I'm building these relationships.
The first time I went to one of those conferences, like the first night I went out, I mean everybody was out. It was and just like a few too many tequila shots, and then like basically the rest of my conference was like kind of ruined. And I was like, I learned my lesson on that. I was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
This time was nice because like the first day I got there, that's the day that I had the show. So the first day was like it was like, I'm here, but it was almost like a calm before the storm. It was like me time before it. And I mean, it was like a bucket list band that I was really excited to see at like a cool like 1930s, like Art Deco theater. It was rad. And then the next day was like the days. And then at the end, we went, a few of us rented a car and we went out to the coast. And so got to see like the Pirate Tower and cliffs. And I've never stuck my feet in the Pacific Ocean before.
Yeah.
So like did that kind of stuff. But it was nice because it was almost like a personal thing out front and then the business in the middle and then a little tail end, a little bookend there. And that felt good.
Yeah.
Like
I just this time around, this particular time in Austin, it wasn't bad. I didn't get like crazy or anything. I just spent so much time out enjoying time with the referral partners and KWIP and other agents that you just don't see. Like when you have a national business, like when we're like you and I,
we have a pretty national business,
right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of our business relationships are with people spread out across the entire country. Yeah. It's hard to get everybody in one place.
Yeah, and when you do, it's like...
Yeah, it's a celebration.
Yeah, and you want to spend so much time with them, too.
Yeah. And then August was like coming out of a really hot year of real estate. Yeah. So everybody was balling.
Like, everybody was.
Everybody was like buying drinks and food and coffee and networking events and like everyone was just dumping money everywhere.
Yeah. That was a pretty intense one.
I don't know what it's going to be like this year.
I don't know.
But also...
Yes.
Our company, big convention this coming February, next February.
Yeah.
Is in Vegas.
Oh my God, I can't believe it's in Vegas.
Who's in charge?
Who is in charge?
Who's allowing this to go on?
I think it has, yeah, right? Dudes. But so I'm like, you know what you're signing us up for, right? Like, but I mean, there's only so many like convention centers that are big enough to hold us. So like that's part of it.
Well, it circulates through 5. So we have Vegas, Dallas, New Orleans, Orlando, and California.
Why don't they do it in Atlanta?
Where?
I don't know.
That's why.
But Atlanta. Well,
what's the difference of Atlanta and Dallas?
Come on. Wouldn't you rather go to Atlanta than
Houston, Atlanta, Vegas?
Dallas, and no, I don't want to go to Atlanta.
I've actually been to Atlanta.
Do you have
like it.
problems with Atlanta? Tell me more.
I don't even like to go to Philly, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, you don't count.
Okay. I was like, do you not like cities?
I'm okay with cities. I don't like when things aren't run efficiently.
Okay.
And things are kind of hectic.
Okay, I feel like Atlanta's pretty efficient. I mean, that airport.
I walked around by myself.
Woo, that airport is like, that shit runs like McDonald's. It does.
A McDonald's in Philadelphia?
Oh, the ice cream machine is always broken.
Okay, that's it. Oh no, I just mean like assembly line. Like
okay, Chick-fil-A or McDonald's?
Okay, Chick-fil-A.
Okay,
thank you for that. I don't eat the meat.
Fast food.
So, yeah.
She has no idea. She's talking about McDonald's from 2003.
Okay, that is true. That's probably the last time I ate. No, just kidding. No, but I have it. So I don't eat Chick-fil-A because I don't eat chicken. But I've been through that drive-thru a few times and I'm like, oh my word, this is something special.
You remember when we were talking about buying stock in something?
Yes.
That's just reminded me of it. Okay. Not Chick-fil-A.
Got it?
Disney World.
Oh, yeah.
I knew you were going to say that you're not it. I just knew it. And people would, Dom's turning around now. People would say, I don't think people assume me to be about it either because of like how they know me. But if you know me.
Are you a secret Disney holic?
specifically Walt Disney World. Specifically,
That's the Florida one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, have you ever read the book The Experience?
No.
Okay, so put it on your list.
Okay.
It's like about how like the detail and like running it and like how they think
Does
and
that book
operate.
mention Ritz-Carlton too, or is that because there's another book that talks about that? But go on. But
I
it's
don't
about
know,
the experience.
But I'm not like in line waiting for characters. Like that's not my Disney.
Sure.
Like there's Disney adults that do that shit. Like, oh my god, like me and Pooh. Like no.
But I would wait in line for Winnie the Pooh, but it's just
no, you won't. It's a human in it. Like it's some human in this thing, and the lines are ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's not it. That's not it for me. Even like the rides really aren't really what it's about. For me, it's
I like Universal because I like the rides.
Yeah, I'm like into doing rides, but I mean in general, like in Disney, for me, it's the experience.
Yeah,
and it's
like
the
vibe and
detail
the tone
and like customer service, and like I will time block my whole trip based on what restaurants we're trying every night, and I'll go during Food and Wine Festival and during the Halloween decorations. And there's a monorail bar crawl where you can get a drink at every different hotel bar that's on the monorail like section. And so like I've gone to Disney with probably 4 or 5 different people, and
so if I go, it will be with you.
1,000%.
Okay.
All of them have said either they did like Disney before, they didn't. However, they've all said, I have a different opinion after Disneying with you.
Yeah, at this point, like I would go because it is an experience, but I have a decently like neutral experience.
I have
but it's been a long time since I've been to Disney. I've been to Universal a few times since then.
I have like a business crush on like the idea of how they operate their app system. So like the app gets you can mobile order, so you don't have to stay in line for anything in the parks.
That's nice.
You can like book fast, like lightning pass lane thing. So like I went with my friend Kate. We did 2 days and we did every single roller coaster in the park in like 1 day. And it was just me planning and buying certain things and knowing when to do certain things at the certain times.
Yeah.
And
you're playing Tetris with it.
We didn't wait in line for anything. We went to 4 parks. We did all the roller coasters. We didn't wait in line for anything. We didn't hear any screaming children. We ate everything we wanted to eat. We were in and out. We were efficient. We Ubered instead of using on-site transportation for certain things. Like there is a plan and a mission, and we're not waiting. We're very intentional, and we'll get the best experience possible. And I just also enjoy like the detail that goes into like when they build a new resort, like you'll see that the marble flooring at this place has hidden Mickeys in it. And it's like the thought process of that.
That's why I like nice hotels. They always have like a smell.
Yeah.
Like that's a big part of the experience.
Disney like pumps the smell of certain like things to like get people to go certain ways in the parks.
Yeah. It's super smart.
And the way that they paint things, they have this paint color called like disappearing green, and it basically makes doors for cast members, people that work there, to go in, but
you can't really see them.
We won't recognize it. Like it's like camouflaged in.
It's basically like if you were colorblind.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
I'm just saying, like, yes. Am I considered a Disney adult? Yes. Am I ashamed of it? Am I ashamed of it? No. Not in the slightest bit, but I could buy stock in that.
Okay. What else could we buy stock in? I could buy stock in Williams-Sonoma.
That's a good memory from my childhood.
I worked there for 6 years. That was my like college, and I worked there like a couple years after college too, just to keep that discount.
Christmas time, taste testing samples on Saturdays.
I didn't even like eat lunch for like 6 years except for Williams-Sonoma.
I thought it was so cool they had a chef there.
Yeah. Sometimes that was me.
That's so cute.
So fun fact.
I can so see that.
I don't eat meat. And second part of that is I totally taught the turkey carving class.
Oh my God.
It was so much fun.
For Williams-Sonoma, like for the people?
Yeah. For like we did like cooking classes, you know, and it was just like a little once a month thing. So I didn't teach a lot of the classes, but that was one of the classes I taught. And nobody knew that I didn't eat meat, but people were like, are you going to try it? I'm like, no, I'm great. This is for you.
Yeah.
I literally was like manhandling. It
was
great.
My God. That's like one thing. That was something me and my mom did. We went to Williams-Sonoma. Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely like, my whole kitchen is like,
we were talking about, before we started recording, we were talking about things that trigger you from your childhood. And I was saying that things that trigger me is if someone puts stickers on something of like value.
Yeah.
You can't put
some
a
of the
sticker
Williams-Sonoma stickers are hard to get off.
You can't put a sticker on a
Do you know what the-
$1,500 laptop. You get a case and you put it on top of the case.
Do you know what the trick is to get a sticker off?
No.
Essential oil of lemon or orange.
How did you find that out?
Williams-Sonoma.
Oh.
Yeah. It's part of what's the ingredient in Goo Gone, except for, you know, it's so I literally have like lemon essential oil in my house. Any sticker. I
All
know,
these
right?
facts.
Just full of them in here. A little trivia. So yeah. It's like literally we'll just take any like that gooey, sticky part. We'll take it off.
There was something else recently that got brought up. I can't recall what it is off the top of my head right now, but there was something else that got brought up from my childhood that has like related into business. One of them actually is so I'm an only child and my dad is in a business where he's negotiating. So he's a public adjuster. So if a tree falls on your house or a pipe leaks or something happens where you would call your insurance company, he comes out first, assesses what's happening. He then says, yes, you should definitely put a claim in. It's worth, going through the process. He does it for a fee. He submits the claim. Then your insurance company sends out rep. They go out together. They adjust it together. They compare. And then he fights for you to get more money than what they want to give you. So he negotiates that with them. I've been doing that with him. Like I went on claims with him since I was like, could hold my head up.
Yeah.
Like I did that with him all the time. And I think that childhood like experience like helps me with my business now. And when I was like really little, I just always had something small in my hands. Like I always was like holding something, like if it was like a little doll or like a bear or like something small. Like as a child, I always like took something with me somewhere. Like if I was going to a grandparent's or out somewhere, I always had something in my pocket or like something in my hand. And we had a small book that's like, it said like the power of negotiating or like negotiation,
like,
something. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. I've been trying so hard to find video footage or pictures of me with it. Like I just haven't been able to find it.
Oh, that would be so cute.
But my dad would be like, look at me and be like, negotiate. Like he would like get me to like say it.
Yeah.
Like full circle. Like that's what we do for a living.
It's
right.
literally what we do for a
Negotiate
living.
people's feelings, expectations, and money in order to get houses.
Huh. That's a quote.
Yeah.
That sounded good. You should write that on a t-shirt.
I just came up with it
That was good.
off the top of my head right now. I've never said that before. But yeah, no, that's like, I don't know. There was something else that triggered me that I was thinking of from childhood stuff before to bring up, but that was pretty much it.
I have another one.
One more.
Okay. So I get home one time off the school bus and I go inside my house and my mom is crying.
I'm like really scared for anything that you say now.
I know, right? No, this one's I think sweeter. And she's crying and I'm like, what? And I noticed like this was the era of Oprah. She was watching TV. She was watching Oprah. This was the era of Oprah when Dr. Phil first started getting on. So Dr. Phil was not like, he didn't have his own talk show. He was just a guest a few times. And so like when he came on, like people were really enamored by him. But so I came home, she's crying and I'm like, what? Like, I was like, geez, something's wrong. Like my mom's not a big crier. And she's like, they just said, that Dr. Phil just said that you shouldn't say anything negative about your ex, like your ex-husband. My parents are divorced because your child sees themselves in that person.
Yeah.
So for instance, like, she shouldn't say anything bad about my dad because I love my dad. And then it's like, oh, is something wrong with me by the fact that I love my dad so much? And so I always think about this because like, for instance, if my dad were to say, oh, I have like my dad doesn't like his teeth. He doesn't like his smile. And he's like, every time he says like, oh, I don't like my smile or whatever. He doesn't smile in pictures. And I'm like, but Daddy, I have your teeth. Like they're mine. Or like anytime, like he'll just like say something like bad about himself. I'm like, stop saying bad shit about yourself because that's about me. And I say the same thing with my mom. But I also like, I notice it a lot with my friends. Like, I don't like one of my best girlfriends will say something, you know, negative about herself or about like how like maybe she did something that she didn't like about, you know, how she's raising her kids. And I'm like, stop saying that bad shit about my friend, dude. Like, you would never allow somebody to say that. So that's another thing that's like transcended the entirety of like walking in and just being like, but to that day, my mom was never like really a big shit talker about my dad, because I was always close to him. I mean, close to both my parents, but literally like to that day, like that's something where anytime like one of my friends says something bad about themselves or somebody else, I'm like, not in like, oh, you shouldn't, but like, here's why you shouldn't.
But it's like an alarm for you, because we've worked on being better with self-talk and affirmations.
Yeah.
And I've taken that from the company that I work with, because I didn't know that before I was in real estate.
We all think we're so positive until we start actually analyzing like what we say in our brain.
But now I like listen for it.
Yeah, exactly.
And a friend of mine is really big on like, today I was trying to get drink tickets and I was complaining about like I wasn't able to like switch money into my Cash App and because something was happening with my bank, and I was just bitching like hard on the phone with her, and she was like, I'm ready to hang up because you're being really negative right now and you're complaining, and I'm done with it. And like
your energy is radiating.
Yeah. And like I get it. It was a little bit of stressful times, so like give me a break. But but no, she has made me be more observant and like self-aware of like.
That's why who you're around like matters so much. Like literally people are the most important thing ever in so many ways. Like they will transform you. They can make you and break you, you know?
Yeah. It's interesting to just discuss like things even as small as like the throwing the Barbie doll or like whatever things that we've taken with us into our lives and into our businesses. From like just silly things. Yeah. Like there's just all different things you think about, and it's like, oh, well, that's why I do X, Y, and Z, because I've taken that from my childhood or whatever it is. Yeah. How are we on time?
You are wonderful. You're 57 minutes in.
Look at us go. Shooting the shit. Just exactly as we expected.
Do you want to, should we wrap it up?
It's up to you. This is your show.
Just anything you want to tell the people?
Do I want to tell the people?
Anything you have going on you want people to know
about? In general, I'm like, hi, I'm Winnie. I like long walks on the beach. No, I'm just kidding.
You could tell them that.
No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. No one's listening. Thank you.
Well, tell them how to contact you if they have a referral or they want to buy a house in Charleston.
Oh, yeah. So, or if you just want a dinner recommendation for Charleston, I'm pretty good at that too. A cocktail, something like that. That's some of my favorite things to do. I'm a total Charleston history geek. Like I love a tour, a walking tour, a driving tour. I'll tell you little like secret spots to find really cool moss pictures. And I don't know, just like there's so many really, really cool fun facts about Charleston. So actually, segue, we've been posting some of those on our Instagram page. So you can reach me on Instagram at _ Winnie Company. And then, I mean, I'm all over social media. It's when you have a name like Winnie, it's pretty easy to find me. It's Winnie Rogers with a D. I'm very proud of that D.
I just realized.
What?
You said Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, that's why I would stay in line for Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, Piglet's good, by the way. You talk about some like life lessons, Piglet.
Sometimes things just really go over my head. It's like bad.
That's okay.
Something.
But also like the fact that, I mean, everybody in the world though, like, can I just tell you how much
I don't even associate it with you at all.
Well, that's when like when so my real name, by the way, nobody knows this, is not Winnie.
I didn't know that.
My real name is Erica. I do not look like an Erica.
Winnie.
Wow, that's the first thing I was going to say. Oh my gosh.
Fucking drop. My name is Erica Edwina, which I love my name. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for that name. Thank you, ancestors, for my names. But so, and then I went to my great grandmother's funeral, and I met my namesake that day, Aunt Winnie. and she was like 92 and she was a firecracker and she was a business owner in DC and she was like, they owned a few businesses all around and stuff. And she was so cool. And she was like, you know, those older ladies that you're just like, I want to be like her when I grow up. And so that's when I was like 5 years old and I was like, and my mom explained to me what a middle name was. And I was like, oh, because like I didn't know what a middle name was. And so I was like, can I be called Winnie? And she's like, yeah, you can. So that's when I changed my name to Winnie. So at 6 years old, I went to school, first grade, and I was Winnie since like from then on. But you talk about going into first grade as a Winnie, like I had to either embrace Winnie the Pooh or, I mean, everybody called me Winnie the Pooh. Like it was just like, so I had to embrace it. I was like, I love Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh is a great show, great lessons. So like me and Winnie the Pooh.
I said Winnie, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean like when we talked about Disney,
you said Winnie the Pooh. Yeah,
just was the first character that came to mind.
But it's funny because it's some people will do like they'll be like, oh, like Winnie the Pooh, and literally when I say like my name at Starbucks or something, I'm like Winnie the Pooh, because like people know how to spell it in theory. Most don't, but whatever. But sometimes what I say is or like Winnie Cooper or Winnie Mandela. You won't get the Winnie Cooper reference. Winnie Mandela though.
Yeah.
Nelson Mandela's wife. Winnie Cooper, the hottest nerd on television in the 80s, 90s, from the Wonder Years. You wouldn't get it.
No.
But she's a mathematician and she was a character on a TV show with Fred Savage.
I do know that is.
Okay, cool.
Got it.
So yeah.
I'm
that's
just
what some
like,
people will say, like, oh, like Winnie Cooper. I'm like, yes. Like Winnie Cooper.
I'm honored that you just gave that secret out on the show.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people are going to see this and not know that your name is not Winnie? Well, your name is Winnie, but
my name is I identify as Winnie.
Have you legally changed it?
No. My name, I signed my name E. Edwina. Everything.
Will you change it?
No. Actually, they won't. I won't change it to Winnie because my name is actually Edwina, and that's my family name, and that's my name. So so I won't name. I won't change my name. I also highly don't recommend changing your name in general. It's a pain in the ass. Huge pain in the ass.
Did you change your name back after?
Yeah. Pain in the ass. Don't do it,
I think
ladies.
I'll just keep my name.
Keep your name. Keep your name.
Or like go by your married name.
Yeah, you can go by it. You can DBA. You can DBA
name that
married name.
Give me that.
I think that's fine.
When you have an LLC, you have multiple. My fictitious name.
Yeah.
Your fictitious name,
pseudonym or whatever.
Yeah.
So
that's what we're gonna do. Okay,
so you can reach me there, Winnie. Google me,
Winnie and Company.
There's not a lot of Winnie.
We'll have it. She'll be tagged in all the things. If you are not following me already, please follow me.
Why aren't you? Let's break the fourth wall.
You can find. Why aren't you following me? Not Don. You listening right now. You and your face. Instagram, Jewel_the Realtor. TikTok, Jewel the Realtor. We also now have an Instagram page for the podcast. It's Realtor-Ish _podcast, I believe. We are on YouTube. We are on your favorite streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple, and you can also find us on the Anchor link to wherever you want to listen to. If you have any questions or you want to be on the show, you can DM me and I'll think about it. If you want
a stream of consciousness conversation.
Yeah, I might have to vet people. If you want to buy, sell, or invest in real estate anywhere, we have great people like Winnie, myself, and a whole plethora of agents across the country. So if there's anywhere that you want to go or invest, we have great people for you. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next time.